Okay, so this is another little tutorial based on this exercise, the last we did in class, and one of you guys did this model. I thought it was interesting to show and start working with it. Um, First of all, I'm gonna delete, so we start from scratch. This person set the sun, so we're gonna go to render scenes, as you remember, the button here, and I'm gonna go to indirect lighting and pretty much get rid of the sun and sky feature, so we can start from the beginning. Have to wait for a little while before it recognizes the indirect lighting. There we go. We're gonna delete this guy and we're gonna minimize this. So what we're gonna do in this tutorial is pretty much assign to this object one material and to the floor a different one. This one is going to be a wooden material, so we're going to assign an image of a wood and a bump, the idea of bump, to the same material. We'll see how that happens in a very simple way. We're going to get more complex as we go. Another thing we're going to do is just set the normal 1, 2, 3 settings for physical sun, and then there's going to be the grass, very straightforward grass. I'm not going to take it too much into consideration, but just for you guys to understand how to apply an image in a very short way. So in Appreciate, what I'm gonna do here, I open the window. Remember, Appreciate is Windows, Render Editors, Appreciate here, and I'm gonna expand these guys, and I'm gonna create two materials. And I'm gonna close this because I want to have this set so we can see how the materials are generated. This working area is pretty much, you can scroll out, scroll in, and even press F if you want to zoom, etc. You can move by Alt and middle button as if you were in the interface. I'm going to press this material and name it wood, and this one I'm going to name it grass. For the first wood material, I'm going to go to presets, and I'm going to use glossy plastic type of material, replace. And for the grass, going to be, we should probably use a more basic, but for now I think we're going to use this one. I'm going to use a matte finish. There we go. Okay, let's go and apply these materials to the scene. This is the floor, basically is going to be our grass. Right click after pressing the floor and assign material to selection. What I'm going to do is just select it and Control H so I don't see it while I apply to all this box the other material. Right click, assign material to selection, and it changes. Okay, I can go to the outliner and go back to this guy and Control H, Shift H to see it. I should probably do, now that I see some cleaning here, but anyway, that's probably another, probably have to group, etc, etc, but that's probably another little assignment. Okay, so I'm gonna select the view, position myself in the scene, and render it very basically so you get the feeling of an interior type of render. I'm gonna go, as you know, to the outliner, press perspective, Control A for the channel box, and position myself in a view that I like, and start like playing around with the film aperture and the local length. There we go. It's nice. Just press this so we see exactly what's showing. Nice. And something we're going to do first of all is set the basic settings, like for rendering 1, 2, 3. So if we go to common, we need to say here HD 720. If you want it higher, as you know, you can put it higher. For quality, we're going to go to the presets and set it to production. And indirect lighting, yes, we're going to do a physical sun and sky here. We create it, and we'll let it go there. And I'm going to minimize instead of closing. And here, as you can see, this is the limit of our camera. Let me get rid of this guy. For for that, as you remember, we can change from the camera, perspective camera, we can change also the attribute for the squeeze ratio for the lens, so we can span that if you want a little bit, and change a little bit the angle if you want it even bigger, and get closer. So as you know, we can change many things, so we can get a very decent like interior feeling rendering. Let me see. I like this one. I'm gonna save it by going to View, Bookmarks, Edit Bookmarks, New Bookmark, and Apply. Close, and once again, wherever you are, you can always go to View, Bookmarks, and go to this one. It will go directly to that position. Let's render it, and I'll pause and see what happens with this. Okay. Okay, we got this interior render. I mean, this basic materials, as you know, and okay, it's not great, it's not bad either. But let's get a little bit more intense into what material is wood and etc. etc. So I'm gonna close this guy and go to my IP shader and just assign the material. In the second little tutorial, we'll see a little bit more. By the way, this, as we applied the sun sky, this shows up, and this is pretty much the idea of graph that I was going to explain afterwards with the material, but I can explain it now. This is the same as if we go to the outliner and press this guy, and if you Control A for the attribute editor, we're going to have sun direction, sun shape, default light set, my physical sky, etc. etc. These are the same, exactly the same. You can go one by one and it will be changing. So don't be afraid of actually touching things as you from this panel instead of doing it from here if you wish. Another way, as you know, if you have it here, you just go as we've been doing all this time, one by one up here. So it's the same, it's just representing in a way the options for the shapes or for the different parts of Maya here, and there's like a history or an attachment of parts to it. And we're going to do the same. If we go to material, as you know, we can assign a color, or by pressing on these boxes, black and white checker box, we're going to be able to assign a number of images instead of a color. So if we press here, this comes out, and these are all the images that we can substitute for this color. So what we want now actually is to assign a file, so that's why I'm going to go File, and immediately as I do that, Maya knows, okay, there's a history and there's a certain values attached to that image. So to our material, which is this guy, assigns a file which is black now because there's no image, so we have to press the folder here to assign an image to that material. And the third one, and it's going to show in every specific step of every material, is pretty much what is called a mapping attribute, or texture attribute. We're going to say how many times, and we repeat that image to tile it, to not tile it, to rotate it, the view, etc. etc. I'm going to do the basics. I'm going to go to File within the material and select Folder. And I've saved like a teak type of image, as you can see. As I show in class, this what I did in Photoshop is save as BN, as in blanco y negro. It would be black and white type of image. I save that and I do some contrast, desaturation, and levels control, so we have this other image associated. So what we want for the image is this one, and we'll see afterwards in the next little tutorial that for the bump we want this one. I'll explain later on what is this idea of bump in terms of understanding an image black and white. So for the image will be this one, open, and immediately shows here and here. So also if we go to the perspective, we can press 6 and it will show us the material, and that's something that we can render now and see how it goes. I'll pause it there. Okay, so this is showing the material. As you can see, it's quite big. We probably have to map it to half the size or something. We'll see that in the next tutorial. For now, I think it's a good step to change. Okay.